I'm learning sign language. I'm a little slow still. Hello, zombies. Oh, what a sad moment. No, this is not a sad video. I will not get sad. Okay, I did my hair today, and it doesn't look like I did. It looks like I just didn't brush it, but I purposely tried here. This was me trying to do what Spencer Henry does to my hair when he curls it, but it actually looks good when he curls it. What, am I being nice to Spencer? The world is definitely ending. Mikey, as we know it, is gone. No, she's not. Look at this fake tan. I couldn't leave you with a good tan. I couldn't do a good tan whether I was leaving or not. Speaking of leaving, yes, you read the title right. I am not going to be uploading for a little while, but I'll be back. If you don't think that's a good impression, watch the clip. It's not far off. Anywho, so in this video, I'll be turning myself into Terminator because this is all about how I will be back, but also about why I am not going to be uploading for a little while. So stay tuned if you're curious. Or if you really like Arnold. Alright, makeup. You haven't seen these babies in forever. This is third degree. You mix a little bit of A with a little, does it say? Yep, you mix a little bit of A with a little bit of B. They have a little makeup baby, and then it turns into a very solid little baby on your face. We're just gonna leave that one. Okay, I got little cups to catch the baby makers. No, we gotta end immediately. First, I'm just going to outline the shape in which I'm planning on doing the face explosion robotic stuffs. After 5 years, you'd think my makeup instruction would be better, but it's not. Okay. In the movie, I'm pretty sure that the makeup is on the right side of his face, the right eye predominantly. I'm going to be doing it on the left eye though, because you'll be able to see it better because most of the stuff I look at is this way. You get me? I'm gonna get rid of some of my eyebrow, but not all of my eyebrow. Yes. I don't know if I'm gonna do it quite as big as my reference picture, which is this, but we'll do something that looks like the Terminator. Don't you worry. Because the more we get it into this area, the more likely it is that it's gonna fall off when I start talking, and we don't want that because I will be blabbering quite a bit this video, like every video. Something like that. And now we mix equal parts A and B into one cup. Make sure that even the sticks that you use to stir this are labeled so that you don't contaminate it with one part of the other until you're ready. To a cup. And then start laying it along the edge of what you drew. It's gonna start to harden really quickly, that's what she said, so you wanna work fast. Okay, so with one round of that, I didn't get all the way around my stuff, so I'm gonna make another makeup baby. And I only use a little bit at a time because as you can see, even though I was working as fast as possible, I wasted some of the product because at this point it's a little too hard to work with. But for a while, it's also too runny to work with. There's a very tiny working period where it's kind of perfect to build an edge easily, where it's not too runny and it's not too clumpy. Like that little spot right there, it's a little too clumpy. Now it's gone. So while we wait for that to set... Terminator! Still not good, sorry. I'm using water-activated paints to paint the inside of the look. It's basically just a bunch of blacks and silvers for the robotic pieces, but you probably want me to talk about the break. So I am going on a short break from YouTube. I won't be uploading for the next 3 months, and I know that sounds like a long time, but it's gonna go really fast for me, I'm sure. And the main reason why I'm doing it, although there are many reasons, after getting that head injury that you may or may not know about, if you don't, there's a video all about it right here, and linked in the description. But after that, it's been quite a wake-up call for me in a lot of different ways. It's been a big struggle for me mentally. Wow! Am I still concussed? I might be. It's been a big struggle for me, mentally and physically. It's been really tough to recover from. And one of the biggest things that has been hard is that it did take me out of my training for my bikini competition right in the middle of it. I was 9 weeks into training when I hit my head. So, as I've mentioned before, I was just starting to see really new and cool results. And to let you in a little bit on how that was going, because I was documenting all of it for a video for you guys, I was struggling really bad the first 7 weeks of training. And I'm still not seeing the progress that I want after a month of what has been extremely difficult and challenging every single day. Waist hasn't changed since day one, but it's a little discouraging after what feels like the longest month ever to surprisingly not see any result in the thing I had the best results in the first time I trained with Steve. But I did it. I didn't miss a single day while I was on vacation. I did 2 hours of working out. I even did my 2-hour workout in the garage of where I was on Christmas night because the gym was closed. And I did it at like 1 a.m. when I really did not want to, but I didn't want to miss it. So I was dedicated and I did it. But then, definition-wise, it's not what I expected it to be after all of this grueling training and eating. I don't know how that's going to suddenly start to pick up for where it needs to be. I have less cellulite on the back of my legs, which is progress, but again, I can't believe I've gone through 6 weeks of what I have just to lose cellulite. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I'm not gonna lie, it's extremely frustrating. I would have a very hard time staying consistent if I did not have a show to work towards. See you in week 7, hope it's way better. I keep saying that. It's like 3 weeks in a row that I've been saying that, huh? Or has it been 6 weeks in a row that I've been saying that? Let's hope there's light at the end of this fitness tunnel. I wasn't seeing the results that I expected for how hard I was working. So to finally see results after not seeing them for the first 7 weeks, that's new.
She's getting little arms.
That's new. I got shapes. And then losing it to a split second on a slippery floor has just wrecked me. And I'm the kind of person that when something goes amiss, when my plans go awry, I get angry, determined to do the thing that I had set out originally to do. Which means I'm pissed. Now I know what you're thinking. Mikey, can't you do that while you still put out the best content in the entire world every single week? If I want to do this right, no. And trust me, it's very hard for me to say that because this is the last thing I'd want to do. The actual break that I'm going on has been planned for about a month now, where I knew that this was when it was going to happen. But I've been thinking about taking a break for something like this for about 2 years now. And let me start by saying that I don't think that a break is a bad thing, inherently. I just know that a lot of YouTubers that have gone on breaks tend to get backlash for the break. I think that a break is really important for everyone from work. I think that YouTubers are the kind of people that tend to work themselves into the ground because for the most part they are entirely self-made and it comes from this drive within to do something that is very self-reliant. And while I think that that is a blessing in many ways that I have that drive, it is also to my own detriment. I cannot do makeup and talk at the same time about this. I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard. The fact of the matter is that I have not taken a real break in 5 years. I tend to work harder on holidays because I feel like I need to put out a really big video for Christmas, especially Halloween. I have not been able to enjoy Halloween the way that I really used to enjoy Halloween in about 5 years because it is now my busiest time of year and not the most fun time of year. And that's okay because work is tough and it takes that to do something like this job. But I think that trying to do my regular workload, which already takes up a full week per video, and then trying to double it with even bigger and better videos for Halloween usually just completely destroys me by the end of Halloween. I usually don't enjoy Halloween day, night itself. I rarely enjoy my birthday as my actual birthday, which is the day after Halloween, because I'm just so focused on that exhale after August, September, and October is over, because I do start filming and planning for Halloween as early as August, sometimes a little bit earlier. So it's kind of like 2 or 3 really insane months. Then my birthday is the day after it's over. So I just kind of decompress. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but every year around the same time, I am very late on a video between my birthday, November 1st, and somewhere around Thanksgiving. That has never been really a planned break. That's been like a, I desperately need to breathe break. Because 2 Halloweens ago, 3 Halloweens ago in 2015, it started with a panic attack. It turned into debilitating anxiety for a few months because I overworked myself. I promised myself I would never do that again, and I have found a lot of different coping mechanisms to avoid that happening again, but I can sense that I am getting to that point yet again, especially after the fall and the head injury, losing all of my fitness progress, emotional eating again. Lots of other things are going on in my life that unfortunately I can't talk about, and it just doesn't matter. The point is, this fitness competition has come to represent something very important to me, and I want to do it right. Hold that thought. I'm going to paint a little more, and then we'll talk about that. Okay, bye. It's too hard to do both. I will still be filming occasionally when I really feel compelled to over these 3 months, so I'll actually be ahead when I come back, which will make things like Halloween a lot more enjoyable for me because I won't be scrambling on my week-to-week schedule. I'll have some backlogged for when I want to actually enjoy my birthday or a holiday with my family or anything like that. If I could give any advice to an aspiring YouTuber right now, I think one of the biggest mistakes I've made is I didn't have a backlog of films before things really picked up. If you can have a few extra videos to get ahead so that you can take a real break and a real vacation and have real weekends when you really want them, that ends up being invaluable if your channel were to ever take off. And that's something that I couldn't have known ahead of time, but because of that, I've been in this constant race with myself week to week, and anytime something has come up, like splitting your head open, it throws a huge wrench in an already very demanding job. And I don't want pity, and I'm not complaining about my job. I love my job, and like I said, this is a very hard decision for me to make because you guys are one of the best things in my entire life. I'm sure you always will be, and I genuinely love talking to you every week, and I love seeing your reaction to things every single week, which is why I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I will be back, but I can't make the videos that you guys deserve if my mental and physical health are declining. So I'll be better for you and for me. It'll be good. Oh, but also, I'm not going to be completely like gone. I won't be posting videos on YouTube, but I will be posting on Instagram. You guys comment all the time about my first transformation video that I did and how much it's helped you and motivated you and inspired you. So I was thinking, since I am taking this break to focus on my fitness journey into the fitness competition world, I've been thinking of using Instagram more so as a way to document my journey day to day. So posting on my Instagram stories about just what I'm eating that day, what I'm doing that day, how I feel that day, because I think one of the biggest motivating factors for me in doing this is also that I think there's a lot of things that overcomplicate the fitness industry, probably on purpose, because the more confused you are about how to get healthy and to feel better about yourself, the more opportunity there is for people to make money off of that. But I think that the fitness industry often skips over the real root of how we end up unhappy with ourselves and how we end up feeling unhealthy. And that goes for any goal, weight, health thing you want. You do you. If you want my thoughts on all of that, please watch my disclaimer from my first transformation video. But this is all kind of vague. There's a lot to talk about. The point is, I think that our fitness idols on social media, people that we look at every day, we scroll past for hours and we just envy and we think, why can't my life be like that? Why is it so hard for me and it seems easy for them? I think we're damaging ourselves so much with unrealistic expectations, or at least not the full picture of what it takes for some of these people to look like they look, or they don't actually look like you think they look. And I so badly want to blow the lid off of this when I figure it out, because I know I'm going to figure it out in the next 3 months. And I want anyone who's ever struggled with this the way that I'm struggling with this to see the reality of what you have to go through. I've figured out what I need to do to lose weight and feel fit and healthy and look how I want to look, but I have not mastered the mental code that needs to be mastered for this to be not just a physical goal. Gosh, this is hard to explain. But if you follow me on Instagram at Mikey, I will be posting pictures on there. I'll be posting updates on there. I'll be talking to you guys a lot. If you want to keep up with me, that will be the best way to do it. And any questions you guys have along the way with how it's going, I can answer them there. So please do follow me on Instagram at Mikey, M-Y-K-I-E. Look, it's really hard to sum up. My point is that I am on a journey. I am determined. I am on a mission to beat the funk that I get in and that humans tend to get in over and over again. And I think it's a lot of things. It's a lot. I can't sum it up. We'll figure it out. In the next 3 months, I will have a succinct video for you that's going to be 15 minutes long, or in several parts, that details why so much of us struggle when we also know that the answer is right there and it's actually quite simple. Why do we struggle with our fitness and our health when most of us are really trying, we really want it, we know what to do, and it's actually not that complicated? Why don't we do it? Why do we fail? Oh, I should also mention that there are several reasons why I do feel like I need to stop making videos completely in order to do this the right way. The first reason is that I have tried doing it in conjunction twice now. First time I did it for my first fitness transformation video, which you've seen. The second time was what I was filming before I hit my head. I have a lot of footage of that, like I've mentioned. And something that for sure has stood out is that I can barely fit in, especially for the bikini competition, because what I had to do for that is much more involved and intensive and time consuming than my initial transformation video was. In order to do all the things I need to do for this fitness competition, which is a lifelong bucket list kind of goal of mine to prove to myself that I can be the boss bitch I want to be, and that can look however you need it to look for you. I'm not saying anyone else should aspire to do anything that I'm trying to do. But if I want to do all that, it takes several hours a day. It takes about 3 hours of working out between a little over an hour of weight training and a little over of an hour of cardio that will fluctuate depending on the week that I'm in, the day. I moved further away from my gym since I last was training, so I live about an extra hour away now each way because LA traffic is a nightmare. So I will be guaranteed sitting in a car for probably 3 hours every single day just to get to the gym and back. Cooking and meal prepping is something that normally was not built into my schedule because I don't cook. I just get food that is already made, which is part of the problem, and that takes up a lot of time. But more than anything, sleep is a huge factor. Sleep is nearly just as important, it seems, as what you eat and if you work out at all. If you eat perfectly and you work out perfectly, but you don't sleep or you are stressed, you can undo so much of your results. So what I found the last time I trained for this bikini competition pre-fall was that I could fit in the amount of training I was doing and needed to do. I could eat the way I was supposed to eat, but because I was juggling a job that is a 60 to 80 hours a week commitment for me anyway, I often did not even get 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night if I was lucky. Honestly, normally I kind of sleep like that anyway because I will work myself to death at odd hours, but when you're training, you just can't do that. You need to get 8 hours. And the other issue then is I feel like because I'm barely squeezing everything in, I'm trying to think of the video that I can do the fastest that is acceptable. And I don't like operating that way. I want to give you guys the best idea that I have for that week. I want to have fun doing it. I don't want to be stressed doing it because that reads and then you won't have as much fun, and that is my number one goal, is for you to relax, and no one's gonna relax if I'm not relaxed. At least when you're watching me. So in those 9 weeks that I had been training before, I found that my video quality was suffering. I was more stressed than ever. I was getting very little sleep and I was working myself to the bone. Anytime not spent doing fitness stuff went to work stuff, and anytime not spent on work stuff went to fitness stuff. And that is really hard to do, and I don't mind doing stuff that is difficult to do. The problem was that there isn't actually enough time to do both. There was not enough time for sleep in the end. And that caused too much stress, and then that affected work. You see the issue here, right? To do this the right way, to make this the most efficient process it can be, I need to try to de-stress, I need to have enough time to sleep a full 8 hours a night, and I need to have all of these hours in a day dedicated to living, eating, and breathing, getting my physical and mental health in the best shape of my entire life. I almost wish this wasn't so important to me because the injury really lit a fire under my ass in so many ways, and in a way that I know I will look back on eventually and be thankful for, but at the moment, it's just pretty frustrating because I know that I need to do this for myself because I don't want to dive into the personal stuff too much. Let me just say that it is very needed. I wouldn't do this if I felt like there was any other way to accomplish both, but my mental health and my physical health are my absolute top priority. They should be your top priority for yourself as well. And luckily, I do have the luxury of having a job that allowed me to save up money. I do save money very well. I can afford to take a 3-month break, and I have, videos that will help me bring in some earnings during that break. I don't have merch anymore. I should get on that. But I'll be okay in that regard, which, like I said, is very fortunate. But I also do have a job that requires a lot of stress and time and focus and good mental health. So it's a give and take, like many things in life. I will be training with Steve again. Steve has been nice enough to be incredibly understanding while I was recovering from my concussion. Oh, and my other injuries. I do think I'm going to also have to do some form of physical therapy for some things that have been bothering me since the fall. It's weird. There are things that have come up that didn't initially jump out to me as a problem, but I've tried working out several times on my own, and my shoulder, ribs, hip, and knee all get a little wonky on the right side of my body now. So I think I need physical therapy. That's another time commitment that is very important that I do. That would just stress me if it was taking time out of work. I am a workaholic. It is a problem. I am working on it. There's a lot of health things I need to get in check that I've been neglecting. Sorry, Mom. Peter would like me to admit to you, for the sake of you not doing what I do, that I have been putting off doctor's visits for over a year. Sorry, Mom. Very important doctor's visits because I feel like I don't have time because there are more important things like working on the next video or scratching the last idea because it wasn't good enough and coming up with a new idea or trying to juggle, future plans that I want to surprise you guys with and all that stuff.
Quote, more important things.
Quote, more important things. Yes, they're clearly not. That's the issue. That's why I need to just rein it in. But I've treated them as more important for far too long, and they are starting to affect me in ways that they wouldn't have had I just taken care of them from the get-go. So, go me. It's not good, but that's what workaholics do. Don't be a workaholic, actually. Learn to find a good balance in your life between work and fun and connection and health, because if you don't do it, no one's gonna do it for you. Hard lessons to learn. You'll get really introspective. I was saying to Peter yesterday that it's kind of funny when you're a teenager. I'm about to sound real old for a second. Mom Bay, here I come. When you're a teenager, you don't think you're invincible. I remember adults used to say that to me and I thought I don't think I'm invincible. But you don't really think about, without being too morbid, your mortality. And then when you're about 20-something, 20, 25, you're just kind of floating, living your life. Life's kind of simple still. You have your freedom for the first time if you're just getting out of college. You aren't settled down in any kind of way. You're kind of accepting how your career starts to unfold. But then when you hit late 20s, you start to be really aware of how fragile life is. You're really aware of how quick time goes, and you're very aware of how much everything leading up until this moment in your life has hurt you or helped you. There are so many habits that I formed from other events that I haven't even realized are affecting me today until more recently. Since I hit my head, I've been very introspective in a way that has made me suffer and made me pretty freaking sad, but in a way that I think is ultimately good because it's going to help me figure it out because I am very self-aware of what the issues are right now. So many of you are just yeah, just keep doing makeup. Okay, I'll get back to it. I'm adding a little bit of blood to the outsides of this ripped skin area now that it's been bruised. Because, robots bleed just like the rest of us, for whatever reason. Isn't that your grade, Peter? You don't like that?
I think they just wanted it to look cool, but I don't think he needed to bleed.
How many of you have actually seen Terminator? Any of them? Raise your hands. I'm about to be so ashamed of y'all. Just kidding, I haven't seen any either.
They're gonna be like, Amelia Clarke is Sarah Connor.
Oh yeah, that's another reason why this look is very relevant and had to be done. One of my fitness goals for forever has been the original Sarah Connor because look at this freaking babe. Look at those arms. I just love her shoulders. You know the way that a lot of people look at a nice booty and they're like, ooh, goals. That is how I look at Sarah Connor's shoulders. I have to have them. Hopefully she didn't get them using, steroids. But I'm gonna try my best without them. So yes, this look is relevant for all kinds of reasons. Let's see, I'm gonna darken the blacks again because we lost them a little bit. Then we have a sexy montage. Honey, I'm a big video. It is also next month's video, and the month after that, and the month after that. I'll miss you guys. But like I said, please follow me on Instagram at Mikey, because I will be posting on there more frequently than I do now. Much more frequently, because it will be my main bread and butter. And now, more than ever, please hit subscribe and please hit the bell and turn on all notifications, because when I come back, you're only gonna know if you get notified, since you don't know to check weekly anymore. I will be announcing when I'm coming back on Instagram, but having the notifications on would help a lot. Otherwise, you're not gonna know when I do come back. It's probably gonna be in May, June, July, August. I'm probably coming back the first week of August, depending on when I can find a fitness competition. But just in case, turn on the notifs. We're gonna have the most amazing Halloween, so get pumped. And I'm gonna come back with Sarah Connor shoulders, or feeling really mentally and physically great. Either way, I do think I have the best job ever. So don't worry, I'll be back. But I love you guys the most, and I will miss you on here, but I won't be far. So talk to you like tomorrow on Instagram. Let's do it that way. Talk to you tomorrow on Instagram. Bye. Did I say everything I wanted to say? Probably not. If I didn't say everything I wanted to say, this will be in the post-credit scene. Not that I'll have added anything that I did want to say. You'll just know there was more.